The Tabernacle, Chapter 7, by Thomas Newberry, the boards. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood standing up, verse 15. Regarding the tabernacle as typical of Christ, these boards of shittim wood overlaid with gold, the framework of the tabernacle, represent him in the combination of the human and divine natures in his blessed person, the foundation truth of Christianity, God manifest in flesh. But, taking the tabernacle as typical of the church, these boards represent the individual believers of whom the church of God is composed. Their position. Boards of shittim wood standing up. This intimates that they had been previously cut down. Believers were once the children of wrath, even as others, growing wild in nature's forest, but they had been selected by divine grace, and had been brought low by the convictions of the Spirit, and they are here seen standing in grace, Romans verse 2. The design. This is stated in Exodus 25 verse 8, "Let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them." These boards represent believers in Christ, builded together for a habitation of God through the Spirit, Ephesians 2 verse 22. This is God's ideal of the church as a whole, according to the pattern shown in the Mount, Hebrews 8 verse 5. It is also designed to be a model for believers gathered together in church fellowship on earth. The dimensions of the boards. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board, verse 16. Taking the cubit to be nearly 1 foot 10 inches in length, the height of each board would be about 18 feet 3 inches, and the breadth 2 feet 9 inches. Thus, 10 cubits was the height of the tabernacle, 1/3 of the height of the holy place in Solomon's temple, which was 30 cubits, and half the height of the most holy place there, which was 20 cubits. Though every regenerate soul is born into the family of God, and as such has his place in the church of God, yet, in order to fill that place profitably in the assembly of believers, 3 things are requisite: faith, hope, charity. Faith in the atonement, hope of the glory, and love to all saints. Faith, hope, charity, these 3 depth, height, and breadth. Depth, down to the sockets of silver, faith in redemption. Height up to the rings of gold, hope of coming glory. Breadth, extending to the other boards on either side. Love in the truth, to all them that have known the truth, for the truth's sake which dwelleth in us, 2 John 1 verse 2. The tenons. 2 tenons, hands, shall there be in one board, set in order one against another, made parallel one to another, thus shalt thou make for all the boards of the tabernacle, verse 17. According to their Hebrew name, they appear to represent the hands of faith, laying hold of the redemption which is in Christ Jesus, and according to their position at the bottom of the boards, they suggest the idea of the feet of faith, standing firm on redemption, and the redemption price. Set in order, so as to fit exactly into the sockets. No slackness, no wavering, but steadfast and unmovable, established, strengthened, settled. The boards on the south and north sides, and thou shalt make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards on the south side southward. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side there shall be 20 boards, verses 18, 20. 20 boards, of a cubit and a half, measure 30 cubits, which would be about 55 feet long. The length of the holy place and of the most holy together, of the temple, was 60 cubits, or double the length of the tabernacle. The sockets of silver. And thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, hands, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons, verse 19. The comparison of Exodus 30 verses 11 to 16 and 38:25-28, with 1 Peter 1 verses 18 and 19, will give us most clearly and beautifully the spiritual import of these sockets of silver. Every Israelite passing among them that were numbered, whether rich or poor, was required to give a ransom for his soul, of half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, in value about 15 pence. Peter explains this, forasmuch as ye know that ye were not redeemed with such corruptible things, as silver and gold, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. All God's people are numbered as a ransomed people. To be reckoned among them on the ground of profession merely, is to come under judgment. This is illustrated by the numbering of Israel by David, as recorded in 2 Samuel 24, where no mention is made of the redemption price having been paid. In the instance recorded in Matthew 17 verse 24, the tribute required was not the tribute to Caesar, but the half shekel of the sanctuary. The Son of Man required no ransom for his soul. But from the abundance of the sea, the piece of money, the stater, value 2 shillings and 6 pence, was provided, double the ransom price, as Christ said to Peter, for me and thee. In Exodus 38 verses 25 to 27, we read, and the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,760 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And of the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets of the 100 talents, a talent for a socket.